Julie is a ceramic artist in Northern California. Her work focuses on animal imagery, dealing with environmental and societal issues. Her deep knowledge of animals comes from working closely with zoo animals as a former veterinary technician at several zoos. Julie, welcome.
Hi.
Nice to see you. I almost tried to get you in here early. You're probably like, ooh, not yet. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, I thought I dove into someone else's conversation.
Oh, so did you hear that? Did it kind of scare you a little bit? It's okay. This is going to be fine. Welcome, Julie. Welcome to our conversation. We've never met, I don't believe, in person, but nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So tell me about your current body of artwork.
So I'm working on a few things. I'm always working on multiple things at one time, but I do have a body of work that I finished that is currently showing at the Epperson Gallery, which is down in Crockett. It's a group show. And so it was work that I started almost a year ago that was supposed to be shown at a couple different other galleries that got canceled due to COVID. And so it's so that I just dropped it off a few weeks ago. It's a combination of a couple different shows, but in that work, I was exploring, a lot of my work is animal based, like you said in the introduction, and so I was exploring the idea of what a bad pet was. So I, ranging from, like the dog who needs surgery and is wearing a cone, a dog who chewed up your shoe, to like exotic pets that are not necessarily great animals to have in captivity. They're not very well understood, and while they're super cute, they make terrible pets.
Tiger King?
What's that?
Tiger King?
Actually, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, that's rough.
I couldn't watch it. Anyway, so like one piece that I made, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but it's a slow loris, and it's the loris is in the background.
Yeah.
And then I was mixing animal imagery with sort of anachronistic objects from my childhood. And so I was exploring like the idea of these bad pets with their camera, and then I was making him take pictures of his little toys, which I made a series of 10 toy birds. It's kind of hard to see on that, but
that's awesome. I can see it. It's awesome.
So I made a series of 10 toy birds and this Polaroid camera, and then through making that little bird, then I decided to make these pets into wind-up toys. So it's sort of, that's how my ideas flow from one to the other, and then they meld. And so ultimately, I wound up exploring the idea of, like what is a 10 toy? And I love the idea of the repetitiveness, the idea of, like you wind it up and set it off, and you wind it up and set it off. And so I made a whole body of work around those ideas, but it's led to another, my most recent piece that I made, which is also in that show, which is a squirrel, but it's more of a life rendered squirrel, but it's got the 10 toy key on the back, and it's got the metal snaps and some of the features of a 10 toy, and he's or she is hugging a mound of bullet cartridges, and he's sort of a hoarder of acorns and bullets, and it's sort of a reflection of what COVID has rendered on me.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So
I see, it looks like you have some of your work back there, and so can you tell us a little bit about your process? It looks like these are using molds.
Yeah, so I do a couple different processes. The show that I was talking about is mainly sculptural, like this beaver, which is a work in progress. and almost finished, but not quite. So for this piece, it's coil built.
Wow.
So in pieces, so you started with the body and then added the feet, and then the heads are usually a pinch pot technique, and then texturing is the last thing after getting the motion and everything in place. So that's one process, and I use low fire ceramic materials. So underglaze, low fire white body clay, which I get locally at IMCO. And
Julie, when you say it's coil, does that mean that it's kind of like you kind of build it up, and then
yeah,
once it's going to build up, you smooth it out, and then you kind of sculpt it on your own?
yeah. So it's in pieces. I start from the bottom and make maybe a 1/2 inch coil and make a form, and it's, you know, it basically is like a bowl form. And then once it stiffens up, then you can add more coils, you continue the form, and then I use paddles and other tools to manipulate the original form. And then the pieces like the foot and the arm, they're all solid and they're added later. And then like the slingshot and the teeth and all the little details that you can see there.
So awesome.
They're added separately, and like the keys are separate. And you can see the, hopefully I won't drop this.
I know. I'm like, please don't drop it.
It's really lightweight. It's actually hollow, so you can see like the seams on the back and all the details of the texture of the fur. So I really enjoyed making the 10 toys, but you know, those are inspired designs based off of 10 toys that were made, I think, like in the 50s. And so I wanted to move away from that and, you know, kind of design my own 10 toy. But, and then this is gonna, it's a little canary, a little dead bird.
I love your studio. I mean, I gotta check that out.
Yeah. And then the other process that I use, so I'm pretty slow and meticulous in the way I make my stuff, but so in order to make some things that are more affordable, I make little animal faces. I think I have a few of these available actually in the Verge Open Studio
Exhibition. Yeah.
So, and I've also been playing with more color, like during COVID. It's been, like these have been, for me, good things to do, to come in and play with color, just to sort of, you know, keep keep things going.
And are those your glazes in the background?
Yeah, those are all, I use commercial underglazes mainly, and some stains, and yeah, so as many colors as I can find, and then I blend them all and make them my own colors, like a watercolor palette.
Oh, nice.
But and then so part of these that I make, these are slip cast, so they're hollow. So this is a different process where you sculpt the object and then you cast it, and so that's what these are.
Yeah.
These are the negatives of the plaster mold, which is kind of hard to see with the light, but so I can make multiples of those, and then it can really bring down the price point, which makes them much more affordable.
So you could make them in additions, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it's like making a print. Like,
yeah,
if it was a painting.
So besides the exhibition that you're currently in the group show, and also, again, I want to remind people that her work is also at the Verge Center for the Arts SAC Open Studio Tour exhibition. Where else can people purchase your artwork? Because I'm sure there's people looking at this right now going like, I need one of those.
I have a lot of the animal faces. I did a whole series of primate faces, and well, that was the original series. And then I did a series of woodland creatures. And so those were all available at Elliot Fouts Gallery in Sacramento. He has a series of those, and then it has some of my sculptural pieces too. And then I also have work at the Pence Gallery in Davis and a few other places, but those are the regional ones.
Those good galleries. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So is there a technique between the ones that you've showed us that you tend to favor more, or maybe one that you're trying to explore a little bit more?
One of the things I've been exploring is, well, a couple of things. I've been trying to explore color more in depth, like trying to use color instead of like trying to see more color in the like the fur and the objects that I'm drawing. It's kind of hard to tell, but like in here I have like blue shadows instead of trying to use
yeah, I can
gray
see that.
and other colors. So for me, it's sort of, I've been exploring like a different way to use color. And then
I think, it's just by you talking about it, and I don't know if you're aware of it, but when you were showing me those even earlier, it seemed like you were excited about it.
yeah,
Like just a little bit more pep in showing me that.
Yeah, they're more fun. Yeah, like sometimes when you do something over and over again, it's not as exciting anymore. So just giving myself permission to loosen up.
Isn't that hard though?
Yeah, it's really hard, and for me, it's really, really hard. So so just trying to have more fun in the studio has been one of my goals. But and then with going along with that, using more color, I've also been trying to put more motion into my work. I tend to work, it tends to get really stiff. Like I have this idea that it's going to be flowing, and then by the end, it's already dried. And then I look at it again and I'm like, oh man, it's like totally stiff, robotic, which is which is okay when you make it a 10 toy, it kind of lends itself to that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. But with the beaver piece, I really tried to have him in a different pose than I normally would. So those are the couple.
It's so funny that you bring that up about trying to get a little bit more loose with your work, because the last two artists I've interviewed, they're saying the same exact thing, is that they're trying to get a little bit more loose with their work. Yeah.
Well, I think definitely this time has been, we've had so much intense time that, or at least I have in my studio, that it's allowed me to explore more. I mean, it hasn't been easy, and I actually haven't really wanted to be in my studio because of the anxiety of it all. But in order to overcome that, I think just trying to let some things go is probably good advice for everyone.
Well, it's weird. I mean, I know being an artist, I'm the same way. It's like I want to. The only thing that's holding us back is ourselves from experimentation, and that's the funny thing about it, is that there's nobody telling us not to do it a certain way. I mean, we're not in school anymore. We can just do whatever we want, but we still tend to regulate ourselves and not just let ourselves. I'm really jealous of people who. I have friends, I'm sure you do too, who are just like, oh yeah, I just go like this and just throw it like that, and then it just looks awesome.
Yeah, some people make it look so easy.
Yeah,
jerks. For me, it's a struggle, but you know what? That's okay. I've accepted that.
Well, it's been awesome talking to you. I really appreciate the conversation, Julie. Once again, could you please just tell us one more time where you get your artwork and
yeah,
you can buy your.
You can go to my website, which is called claypigeonceramics.com, and you can see a lot of the work that's at Epperson right now. I have up on my website, and you can also, the Epperson Gallery is open there. There's actually I have a opening on the 19th at Epperson in person. I think it's pretty limited. I think it's a 3-hour opening. But they just redid their space, so it's actually really large, and there's concurrent shows going on. Within that group show is Arthur Gonzalez, Kathy Paley, and Marcia Schindler. So it's all 4 of us are showing, and then Lisa Reinertson is also has a concurrent show. So
on the 19th, you said?
On the 19th is my opening, but the whole show is open through November 1st.
Awesome. What time is your opening on the 19th? You know what time it opens?
That's a good question. I want to say it's 3 to 6 p.m. It's like,
Okay. Well, we could look on the website, right?
yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Julia. It was cool talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.